Might say this isn't really important, and perhaps it's not, but I really don't like it, and so I will tell you what it is. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So most of you all are probably here because you watched my iPhone switch video and you're interested in my impressions after 1 week of use. Stay tuned to see what I really like or don't like about the iPhone. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment and thumbs up, and if for some reason this video is not what you expected, just exit out the browser that you entered. The main concern that I had, right, was always Google. I want to use my Google apps. And so what was really great, as you all saw, was that the iPhone went ahead and downloaded most of the apps that I already had on my phone. It did not download all of them. I still had to, for example, download Chrome. I still had to download a couple of other things like my photo apps like PhotoGrid and Visco didn't come over. So I still had to like manually download a few things from the App Store, but the majority of them downloaded, so that was fine. The setup process was still pretty good. And so now that I have like all of the apps on here that I need, and you all might be able to see, so this is just like the regular home screen on my Galaxy. And to be honest, I spent the first couple days of the week still walking around with this and using it like a little safety blanket. But this is my home screen. I have like 2 rows of apps up here. I have 1 row of apps at the bottom, and then just like those general home buttons like your phone and all of those things. And I left it open in the middle so that you could see this is a picture of my doggy when he was a puppy. And then when I swipe over here, this is where most of my widgets are. And then I have just an open screen where there's nothing interfering. I can just like look at my doggy when I want to. So that's how I kind of had everything set up on my Galaxy. On my iPhone, I have just the full suite of apps on the front that I specifically wanted. I took the apps off of the home screen that I didn't want to deal with. When I swipe to the left, this is still where I have my widgets. The widgets are obviously a little bit different, but I still have, you know, my my notepad, my news, my my weather app and everything over here. And then I still wanted to have just like a blank screen, but the iPhone doesn't allow you to just like create a blank home screen. Something has to be on it. So I just threw one of my random apps in the top corner where you can't really see it, so that I would just have a clear screen and I could still see my background. It's just like a picture I took last time I was in New York. So I think that, you know, obviously things are different. Like it doesn't give you the option to like clear your screen open. You know, that's a minor adjustment. I still feel like I was still able to put my apps in the exact same spot I had them here, so that just by memory it was okay. And I was still able to change my wallpaper, and I was still able to change my lock screen. It's still a Beyonce picture. It's just a different Beyonce picture. So when it comes to that basic customization that's important to me on a phone, I didn't lose that ability, which is really nice. Someone might say this isn't really important, and perhaps it's not, but I really don't like it, and so I will tell you what it is. Everything that you kind of use to navigate on the iPhone is at the top of the phone versus the bottom. So like, for example, when I am on my Galaxy, if I want to go back, the back button is always at the bottom, and that just makes sense because like you're holding your phone like this. So you can just go back. I can always like click my home screen, and I can click this little button and like pull up all my apps. Versus whenever I'm in something, like if I'm Googling something and I want to go backwards, on some of these apps they're at the back buttons are at the top. And I'll say that specifically for like, not on Chrome, but like when you go somewhere and you have to go back on the screen, the back buttons are at the top. That's just a slight difference. You know, there's more things that are happening at the top of the phone than at the bottom. I just think it makes more sense for things to be at the bottom because we're holding our phones down here and this is where our thumbs are. Like my thumb is not at the top of the phone. And so that's just like a little something that's, I don't know, it's just like a little bit annoying to me. I think the system on the iPhone is a little bit zippier. Now, obviously, of course, I'm not comparing this straight to a 22, so I'm not comparing like new technology to new technology, and I recognize that. But just, you know, thinking in general, I think that the system is like, it's super zippy. Sometimes it's a little too slippery for me. That's not something I hate. It's just a little bit of a critique, I guess. Sometimes I feel like it's so slippery that like the smallest little touch of my finger somewhere will just like swipe something away or whatever. And so I just think it's a little more sensitive. The screen's a little more sensitive to touch than my Galaxy is normally. And so that can, you know, be a little frustrating at times. A lot of things are the same. Like on here, this row of apps that I have are folders. I have a folder for like shopping, Google Apps, and then like utilities. And I had folders on my phone on the Galaxy as well. You can't name the folders over here, but I can actually name the folders there. And I think that's like a nice little feature that's different. I think I mentioned that I was a little concerned about the Face ID because I always use the fingerprint reader on my Galaxy. It's actually really nice. The Face ID works in the dark. Like it works like when I'm in bed at night. It works. I've been like sitting here with like my hand and stuff over my face or like a mask on and it still works. So it works really in all conditions and lighting, which I think is really nice. I still think the fingerprint reader on the Galaxy, if we just wanted to get, you know, super picky, it is more efficient. Like right now, both of my phones are locked. All I literally have to do is just touch my finger to the fingerprint reader and it's popped open. With my iPhone, I look at it, it's unlocked, but I still have to swipe and now I'm open. So again, that's minor. Like I'm not going to complain over that, but you know, I think there's the idea it's like, oh, all you have to do is unlock it with your face, but it's like you still literally have to touch and unlock the phone versus like with the Galaxy, all you have to do is touch it and it comes up and it unlocks all at once. So like it's little minor differences like that that I think are just, you know, kind of interesting to note. Even on my Galaxy, I didn't use the Samsung keyboard that came with the phone. I actually used a GBoard, which is a Google keyboard. And so I downloaded the same thing onto here. And yeah, it works well. Obviously, I can swipe text and all of those things. The swiping does feel a little different than it does in the Android. I think it's still just more, you know, it just feels a little bit more native to swipe on the Android than it does on the iPhone. Also, there's kind of like, there's some really nice features with your keyboard, you know, like being able to double tap things and just immediately like send links or like, you know, send a link to a friend like straight down to that part of an article and just like a lot of cool specific features. One thing that's difficult is like, if I'm typing something on my Android and I need to like go back and like add a word or I'm like, oh, I misspelled that, I can like literally just tap wherever I'm trying to go and like it just puts the cursor there and I start. Versus if I tap in the middle of the word on my iPhone, it doesn't like just go there. I kind of have to like drag my finger to get the cursor to where I want. And that's really annoying. I don't like that. And so perhaps if there's a workaround or if there's something that I'm personally missing, like please let me know in the comments because it could just be a thing where again, it's only been a week and maybe I'm just not unlocking everything that I could. But like, yeah, overall in general, that's kind of my biggest qualm about typing, but typing otherwise is pretty much fine for me. I don't like the calculator that came with the phone, and I'm just going to tell you why, and that's just because it's missing some capabilities. So if I open up both calculators, or just calculators, but something so on the Galaxy, like you just have the regular thing. I can say like 2 plus 2, I can say 89 times 6.5, like whatever. I can just type things in, and then if I want to know like what did I just do, there's this little history button and it brings it over and I can just see all of the, hopefully you all can see this on the screen, but I can look at the history and see all of the calculations that I just made. I can also change this to become a scientific calculator if I need to see the square root of something. And then I can also use there's a unit converter basically in here, and so I can use that for area, length, temperature, volume, mass, speed, like anything you name it. And all of that is in just the regular calculator that came with the phone. Again, hit me up if you have more information about this or if you know of a better calculator that I can download. But I can't do this. It's just a simple calculator. There's nowhere for me to go back and see my history. I can't change it into a scientific calculator. I cannot use the unit converters. I've seen nothing on here that's like allowed me to like make changes to that. It's just a basic calculator. Again, somebody's gonna be like, girl, what? All I do is use this to like calculate change at the store or something, like I don't know. But I actually use all of those features, specifically like the history one, because I use my calculator a lot. I don't really know why, but somehow I do. And so that's something that I miss, you know, having switched to the iPhone. Obviously, messaging, next level on the iPhone, right? Like I have my little emojis and, you know, I can send cute stickers and stuff, and all of that's like super fun. It's also nice because it's also nice just to be able to have a much more streamlined messaging experience and video chat experience with my friends who, you know, as I mentioned before, are pretty much all iPhone users. And so, you know, I typically would like try to FaceTime people with Duo here, but they had to have Duo on their phone as well, versus now I don't have to necessarily ask someone to download another app. I've been able to just like react to things and like reply to things, and it's just made everything a lot easier. Just kind of having that ease has been really nice for me. It's just, you know, elevated my experience of being able to communicate with my friends and my family. My experiences, you know, in daily apps that I use, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, CoStar, Gmail, all of that stuff has really been great. Obviously everything looks different, just the way it looks different if you were on like a PC versus a Mac. Like all of that's normal, like things look differently, but they work seamlessly. I've had a couple more situations on this phone sometimes where it kind of seemed like my service went out a little bit. I don't totally know. Like even right now I have one more bar on my Galaxy than I do on the iPhone, and I don't know if that's like a device or hardware issue, if that's just chance. I don't know. I mean, my calls haven't really been dropping or anything. It's just I do notice that's a difference sometimes. Yeah, I know a lot of you all are probably thinking now, you know, are you going to change? Are you gonna, you know, transfer to get the whole Apple ecosystem? No, like, and you'll see it if you watch some of the videos I linked below. A lot of people talked about, you know, if you're interested in having the Apple ecosystem, like obviously everything will be integrated. You'll be able to open any device, your iPad, your iPhone, your iMac, your MacBook, whatever the case might be, and like grab your photos from iCloud and all of that good stuff. I'm just not particularly interested in doing that. I'm not like a person who's ever been like completely 100% in one area of my life. Like I've always kind of wanted to have the best of both worlds, and why can't I have my cake and eat it too? And like I don't want to choose. Like that's just kind of in my personality. So like I have, you know, my smartwatch is my Fossil watch. Absolutely love this watch. I reset it and synced it in with my iPhone, and it's been working great. I've done like workouts with it. I've gotten my steps in. My notifications from my phone come through here the exact same way. And so this has been really seamless. I don't see myself needing an Apple Watch in any category. I just upgraded my my tablet situation a few months ago. I have the Galaxy Tab. It's the latest one. I think it's the 7. I think that's what's out right now. Yeah, I have like the Galaxy 7. That's the tablet that I'm using, and that's fine. I don't need an iPad. So I don't foresee myself changing into the ecosystem. Again, I didn't foresee myself having an iPhone either. So who knows? Maybe it'll come back here in a couple of months or years and it'll be different. The phone is absolutely fantastic. I'll pop a couple of pictures up here that I've taken with my iPhone. They are beautiful. Videos are beautiful. You know, but I also had fantastic camera quality over here as well. I do think everything is a little bit better and crisper on this iPhone. The Photos app is a little bit weird for me. Again, I haven't gotten super involved into changing all of my albums and stuff. It just, like, it's really nice. It's just a little weird because I have like some of my iCloud photos in there, and I'm kind of like, I don't want or need iCloud photos in there. I don't know if there's a way for me to hide my iCloud photos or if I'm just stuck looking at them in here all the time. So yeah, all in all, I do not regret my decision. Honestly, I don't think that my life has been better. Honestly, a lot of this week has just been me formulating everything on the device so that I'm doing exactly what I was doing on my Galaxy. Outside of messaging, the ability to get, you know, that one case that I really wanted. I don't know if I showed you all earlier, but there's like a case that I've always wanted to use on my phone that I couldn't because I had an Android and they didn't make them for Androids. So yeah, outside of messaging, being able to buy that case now, and the fact that in the future, you know, I can finally autoplay my videos and have the latest apps. I'm not seeing where I'm doing something on this phone that I wasn't already doing. So I think that if you're considering making the switch, you were probably waiting for me to tell you to do it, yes or no. And I think that that's a decision that every person has to make. I think that it's really important to know that one phone is not innately better than the other, but one might be better than the other for you and how you use your phone, and what you're looking to gain out of it, or what you feel you're missing, or like I said, like what platform, you know, the people that you communicate with most are using, and that sort of thing. Hopefully my experience in this video, as well as some of the resources that I'm dropping below, will help you to make that decision. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit a thumbs up before you exit, and I will see you in the next video.